Hi musicians! In this video, we will be analyzing a song using the concepts scales, chords, chord qualities, and chord progressions so that you could also compose your own songs in time. Our learning targets are transpose a song into a different major key, orally identify the harmonic rhythm of a song, analyze the chord progression of popular songs, supply appropriate chords and chord progression to a melody using the chord concepts, scales, and chord functions. Create your own chord progression based on chord functions or uncommonly used chord progressions. So we have discussed all of these in the previous videos. Now is the time to apply them. Here, the chords of the popular song entitled You Are the Reason. Without listening to the music, let's try to figure out certain aspects and characteristics of the song. Here, you are provided a set of chords in each lyrical line. The question is, based on these chords, what do you think is the song key? You can pause the video to think of the answer first. When you are ready to know the answer, continue the video. The answer is, it's in the key of G major. The song is probably in the key of G. How did I know that? The last chord of the song is usually a good indicator of the song key. This does not apply all the time, but most popular songs are built this way. Remember that a song has to resolve in the first chord of the key, or the tonic chord. In this case, the last chord is G. You can check if you are correct by first checking if the first and last chords are the same. In this case, they are, but there are several songs that do not start with the tonic chord too. You can check again by listening to the song. If you feel a sense of finality and stability after playing the G chord at the last part of the song, then it is probably in the key of G. Another method is to get the pitches of the scale of the G key and identify the pitches that were sung in the song. If they match, then your answer is correct. If they don't, you have to try other keys and see if the pitches of the scale of that key and the pitches sung in the song are the same. The next method is to get the chords in the G major key. If all the chords or almost all of the chords in the song and in the G major key match, then you are definitely correct. I'll demonstrate that to you later. Okay, we identified that the song is in the key of G. In composing songs, we need to know how one comes up with the chords in each key, or in this case, in the key of G. Let's try to identify the chords in the key of G major. Remember that chords are based on the scale. Therefore, the chord names follow the name of the pitches of the scale. Therefore, we have to identify the pitches of your scale first. In this case, since the song is in the key of G, we must find the pitches of the key of G by using the pattern 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, or whole, whole, half, whole, whole, whole. So this refers to the number of half steps that you have to travel, you have to move in order to get the pitches of your scale. So first, we identify the tonic note or the first note of the scale. Since our song key is in the key of G major, our tonic note is G. So it's here. Let's use the piano. Next, we have to count 2 half steps or 1 whole step to get the pitch of the scale. So let's cross out this first number or this first whole step. So from G, that's our tonic note. From G, move 2 half steps to the right or up. 1, 2. We get an A. Next, in the pattern is another 2 or another whole step. So from A, count 2 half steps up or 2 half steps to the right. 1, 2. We get B. Okay. Now from B, here, we have to move 1 half step or one note up, one piano key up. 1. That gives us a C. From C, the next number is 2, or another whole step or 2 half steps. 1, 2. That gives us a D. Right? Just adjust this. Yeah, that's more or less the same. Yeah, just kind of OZ here. Okay, there. And then from D, we have to move 2 half steps again to the right. So let's cross this out. Cross this out. 1, 2. So that gives us an E. Then from E, 2 half steps up, or 2 half steps to the right, or on a whole step up. 1, 2. That gives us an F sharp. So technically, G flat and F sharp are the same notes, right? But we cannot label that as a G flat because there's a rule that we cannot repeat a letter or skip a letter. So if we make that a G flat, then we repeated the note G or the letter G, and we also skipped the letter F. So therefore, it should be an F sharp. Okay, so we have the G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. And this is how it sounds like. Going back, the chords follow the name of the pitches of the scale. For instance, in the G major scale here, the notes are G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. The chords in the key of G must be named after each of the 7 notes. In other words, each note must have a chord that corresponds to it. So we know that there's a G chord, A chord, B chord, C chord, D chord, E chord, and F sharp chord. The chords can be either major, minor, or diminished. Augmented chords are used in minor keys, but our main focus is the major key. Also, you have to remember that the notes that form each chord must be part of the major scale. Therefore, in any major key, remember the following pattern. All of the tonic, subdominant, and dominant chords, or the 1, 4, 5 chords, must be played in the major quality. So they should be played in the major quality, meaning G major, C major, D major, in the key of G. And then the supertonic, mediant, and submediant chords must be played in the minor quality, meaning we can play an A minor chord, B minor chord, and an E minor chord in the key of G. And that is labeled, or that comes with the symbol small m beside the chord name. Next, the leading tone chord must be played in the diminished quality. So just copy and paste that. Right, so F sharp diminished. Again, this pattern is applicable to all major keys. So tonic, subdominant, and dominant, or 1, 4, 5 chords must be played in the major quality. Supertonic, mediant, and submediant, minor quality with the symbol small m. And the leading tone chord must be played in the diminished quality. Okay, there. So when writing a song, these are the chords that you can use, that you can choose from. It's just that you have to try which ones would suit your melodies, which ones would match your melodies. Okay, moving on. Now, next question. Which chords do not belong? When you want to learn how to play a song, what you'd normally do is search the chords on the internet. But you'd believe everything that you find on the internet? Of course not. You have to check. Do you think these chords are correct? How will you know? How will you check? First, check if all the chords in the chord sheet match those in the table that we got in the previous slide here. Check. You can pause the video and search for it. Okay, so there are two chords that do not match here, the chords in the table here. So it's the C sharp and the C minor. I changed the C to C sharp on purpose earlier, just to put that incorrect chord there. That is actually the incorrect chord in this given chord sheet. You can check by playing the chord while singing the song. Find the correct one, and if you found out or if you heard that it does not match your melody, then you can find the correct one that should replace this by trying all the chords in the table. It can be a G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, and F sharp diminished. In this case, it's actually just simply a C. Okay? There is another chord that do not belong, that is the C minor. However, in this case, when you play the C minor, it will actually sound correct. And why is that? C minor is a borrowed chord possibly from the parallel minor key of the G major, which is the G minor key. But we are not going to delve into that. Our focus is only on the major keys. You can still try to use chords that are not in this table, that are not part of this table here, and just test them if they fit your melody or your composition. If not, you better stick to the basics, master the basics first. Okay, in this slide, we are going to answer the question, what is the chord progression in the verse? You can find the chord progression of the chorus on your own later. So let's start. First, you have to identify the first chord, G chord, which is the tonic chord. Let's use the Roman numeral to identify the chord progression. So a tonic chord or a one chord, E minor is what? Okay, it's the submedian chord or the sixth chord. And then a C is the dominant chord here. So subdominant chord or a 4 chord. And a D chord is the dominant chord here, the 5 chord. Then it goes back to G. Remember that the tonic chord, it provides a sense of stability, resolution, finality. So it actually helps your song if you go back to this chord from time to time. Then again, it plays another G chord, so a tonic chord, and then an E minor chord, so a 6 chord or a submedian chord, and then a C chord or a subdominant chord, a D chord, which is a D or a dominant chord. And then now, instead of going back to the tonic chord, it went to the submedian chord. So we can find here, you can see here that there's a pattern. 1, 6, 4, 5, then, well, let's just include 1. And that repeated here. 1, 6, or tonic, submedian, subdominant, dominant. But here, instead of going back to the tonic chord, it went to the submedian chord. And why is that? The 6th chord can actually be a substitute for the first chord. So we don't really want to repeat the same chord again and again in our song, right? So we have to provide a variation. In this case, we used a substitute, which is the 6th chord. And there, you can now do the analysis on your own here in the chorus part. So you can do that on your own. I'm sure you can do it. Alright, so in this video, hopefully you will be able to reflect on the answer to this question. How do chords and chord progressions help you or help one compose well-written songs? And that is the end of this video. Thank you.